People always ask me the same question. How come Jewish people always seem to land on their feet, especially in a crisis, stock market crashes, inflation, real estate bubbles? And there we are somehow still opening new shops, buying properties, or, at the very least, sleeping well at night. Now, am I saying we're magical? No. Do we have some secret scroll hidden in a cave somewhere that tells us where to put our money? Also no. But what we do have is a different way of thinking. And that, my friend, is everything. So let's talk about it. Let me start with a story. During a war not long ago, my grandfather lost his store. Completely gone. 1 week it was a family business. The next it was rubble. And what did he do? He cried. Obviously. He was human. But then he said something I'll never forget. He looked at the empty lot, turned to my father, and said, "Buildings fall. Habits don't." He meant this. Wealth isn't about what you own. It's about what you know and how you behave when everything goes sideways. A building is physical. It can burn, be bombed, be taken. But habits? Habits are invisible armor. They live in how you think, how you plan, how you respond when the lights go out and the bills keep coming. And when you look at Jewish financial habits, especially in tough times, you'll notice 3 patterns. They're simple, they're old, and they work. Let's break them down. You know what's funny? Most people, when they hear the word money, they immediately think, how do I grow it? Stocks, crypto, side hustles, drop shipping empires by Thursday. Meanwhile, a Jewish grandmother hears money and thinks, where do I put it so no one can touch it? There's a reason for this. In Jewish tradition, the first step with money isn't multiplication, it's protection. There's a phrase in Hebrew, shomer kepiska. It means, guard your portion. You don't risk your foundation. You don't build a second floor on a house with no roof. Before you even think about growing wealth, you build walls around what you already have. You create buffers. You stay humble with your spending. This is why, even during economic meltdowns, so many Jewish families stay afloat. Because they don't put all their eggs in a Bitcoin-shaped basket. They diversify. They stay liquid. They think defensively first. Like chess players who'd rather protect the king than chase a flashy pawn. And here's the twist. People who protect their money first usually end up with more of it in the long run. Because while others are chasing the next shiny object, they're building stability, preserve, then grow. It sounds boring, but boring is beautiful when the market crashes. Real estate. Gold. A small business. A piece of land with a lemon tree doesn't matter. As long as it's real. As long as it doesn't vanish when your Wi-Fi cuts out. This is another core principle. You don't have to be rich to invest like this. But you do have to stop chasing fast money. Let me put it like this. Imagine 2 people. One has the latest iPhone, a Tesla on lease, and 10,000 followers on TikTok. The other owns a tiny building with 3 tenants who pay rent every month. Now let the economy collapse. Which one still eats? Real wealth isn't flashy. It's quiet. It doesn't live on Instagram. It lives in rental contracts and tools and stored wheat in relationships. Real wealth is often invisible until something breaks. Then suddenly, you realize who owns the bakery, the building. The land. Ask any Jewish family who survived more than 2 generations, they'll tell you, we don't invest in trends. We invest in things that outlive us. It's not that we're against technology. Not at all. But we understand that technology is only powerful when it's built on top of stability. Without that foundation, you're just rolling dice with a different app. That's why a lot of Jewish wealth is invisible until you realize who owns the block. Here's where people roll their eyes. Because yes, it sounds like your grandfather yelling, turn off the lights, electricity is expensive. But let me explain. Living below your means isn't about being cheap. It's about being free. See, most people live at 110% of their income. Even if they earn more, they spend more. They raise the ceiling as fast as they raise the floor. A bigger paycheck just means a bigger car, a nicer apartment, a fancier dinner. But Jewish tradition teaches the opposite. There's even a saying in the Talmud, a man should always eat less than he can afford, dress within his means, and honor his wife more than himself. It's not just financial advice. It's philosophy. It creates margin. It creates peace. It means when the crisis comes, and it will come, you're not gasping for air. You're calm. Because you've trained yourself to need less than you have. And here's the kicker. When you don't need every dollar you earn, you get to choose what to do with it. You buy investments. You build a safety net. You sleep better. That's not frugality. That's power. Let me tell you something uncomfortable. A lot of people go broke trying to look rich. Big cars, big weddings, big drama. In Jewish communities, wealth often flows through quieter channels, co-ops, shared loans, community funds. Wealth is not a solo project. It's a team effort. Growing up, if someone needed to open a store, the community helped. If someone lost a job, someone else found them work. There are even traditional systems called gimmick-free loan societies where people can borrow money with zero interest just to get through a tough month. It's not perfect, but the principle is this: in a crisis, the individual panics. The community adapts. You don't just ask, "How can I survive?" You ask, "How can we all make it through this together?" And when you think long-term like generations instead of quarters, you stop chasing applause and start planting trees, the kind your grandkids will sit under. That's how wealth survives. Not by flexing, but by rooting. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Jews don't feel economic pain. We do. We've just learned over centuries how to prepare for it. And that preparation is boring. It's slow. It's invisible. But it's the reason why, when markets fall, you see some people selling everything and others quietly buying. There's an old quote I like: "In good times, prepare for bad. In bad times, execute what you prepared." This isn't a get-rich-quick story. It's a don't-go-broke forever strategy. And let me tell you, staying rich during a crisis is way harder than getting rich in a boom. Anyone can ride a wave. But can you build a boat before the storm? That's why you need habits that are built for storms, not just sunshine. Look, I know this isn't what people want to hear. It's not exciting. It's not trending. But here's the thing. Crises are predictable. They come in cycles: boom, bust, boom, bust. If your only plan is "I hope it doesn't happen to me," that's not a plan. That's a wish. Jewish financial wisdom teaches us to expect hard times and build with them in mind. Don't buy what impresses. Buy what endures. Don't chase what's hot. Protect what you already have. Don't just think about this here. Think about your last name and what you'll pass on with it. Let me leave you with a little parable. There was once a man who kept digging wells in a dry land. People laughed. There's no rain. But he kept digging. One day, the drought came. And guess where people ran? Not to the guy with the sports car. To the guy with the well. Crises don't ask who has the most followers. They ask who prepared. So next time you hear someone say, "Jews always get rich during a crisis," you can smile and say, "No, we just build wells while others are buying sprinklers." And that, my friend, is the difference. If you found this helpful, let me know. I'd be happy to do another video breaking down how to build financial habits, how to invest in uncertain times, or even how to teach your kids about money the Jewish way. But for now, remember, don't chase wealth, cultivate wisdom, and the rest, it follows.